Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about some news stories involving gaming. I'm going to start, of course, with the Dead Space co-creator departing the startup of his company after his newest game flops, which is, of course, the Callisto Protocol. We're also going to be talking about some problems having Baldur's Gate 3 over on PlayStation 5. We're going to be talking about some Call of Duty, quick Call of Duty snippets, some Bethesda stuff with Starfield, and the next wave of games coming to Xbox Game Pass. I'm going to start here from Bloomberg.com. It says Dead Space co-creator departs startup company after newest game flops, which is of course the Callisto Protocol. I did get the Callisto Protocol Collector's Edition. I didn't think the game was terrible, but I would say that it definitely needed a lot of improvements in the horror elements and the combat. I think I gave the game like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10 when I finished the game. Wasn't a very long game, but I did finish it nonetheless. So here, Dead Space co-creator departs startup after newest game flops. He did work for Infinity Ward on multiple Call of Duty games, not very good Call of Duty games from what I remember, but let's get into it. Video game developer Striking Distance Studio, the subsidiary of the Korean publisher Krafton Inc., is appointing new management several months after the commercial flop of its first game. CEO Glen Schofield is leaving a Krafton representative confirmed Wednesday, saying he has, quote, decided to pursue new opportunities. Striking Distance's chief operating officer and chief financial officer are also leaving. Krafton said all three departures were voluntary. Chief Development Officer Steve Papotias will take over as CEO. In a statement, Schofield says departure was, quote, bittersweet, but I know the studio is in excellent hands. Schofield founded the studio in 2019 to make a spiritual successor to Dead Space, the sci-fi horror series he co-created while working at Electronic Arts. In December 2022, the company released the Callisto Protocol to mediocre reviews. In January, analysts said the horror game was on track to sell 2 million copies, missing Krafton's target of 5 million. In recent months, Striking Distance laid off more than 30 staffers. The company's website now shows around 90 employees. The shakeup at the San Ramon, California-based developer is reflective of the turbulent nature of the video game industry. Big budget games take years to make and can cost hundreds of millions of dollars, which means a single miss can severely damage a game company's prospects. Similar to what happened with the game Forwoken, that cost an entire studio to merge with another studio because the game did so poorly this year. But of course, Soiny ponies don't want to admit that that game was terrible, and they try to always compare that game to Hi-Fi Rush, which was actually an excellent game that created 75 new jobs over at Tango Gameworks and was, of course, a shadow drop Game Pass game that did very well. It was very successful, and I highly recommend anyone who hasn't played that game. If you like a game like Jet Set Radio back in the day, that game is excellent. Hi-Fi Rush is excellent. I mean, new franchises are rare in the industry. Most big budget games are based on established intellectual property to mitigate risk. The Callisto Protocol is marred with glitches and performance issues, hurting its chances of succeeding in a competitive market. A month after it came out, EA released a remake of Dead Space to critical acclaim. The Krafton representative said the studio's plans remain unaffected. So, I truly am hoping they create a Callisto Protocol 2 with better combat, a little more advanced skill tree, a little more advanced weapon upgrade system. I think the upgrade system was pretty decent, but it needed some work for sure. Moving on over to GameRant.com, saying Baldur's Gate 3 players might need to do this to keep the game from crashing on PS5. Larian Studios developers informed that PS5 users who want to play Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5 might need to do this to keep the game from crashing. Reportedly, some PS5 players have encountered frustrating crashes while immersing themselves in the world of Baldur's Gate 3, even though somehow the game ended up with a 96 on Metacritic, which will tell you right away that all those people are shills and they should not be reviewing games, which I've seen in the past with Baldur's Gate 3, even on PC, that people reviewed the game without even finishing the game, saying giving it a 100 out of 100 without even finishing the game. And somehow the PS5 version of this game got a 96 on Metacritic. Somehow it's up on par with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, even though it wasn't anywhere near broken like that game was. It just had FPS drops, but other than that, the game was pretty flawless from what I saw. The issue seems to be related to a network problem, leaving both players and the developers of Baldur's Gate 3 puzzled. While the development team works to bring a quick solution to the problem, they've suggested a temporary solution to address the issue. Baldur's Gate 3 received high praise from critics and eager fans upon its debut. However, it seems not even the most renowned titles are immune to technical problems, as not all players have been able to fully enjoy the game due to the troublesome crashes on the PS5. Since its launch, including the early access phase, Baldur's Gate 3 has experienced some performance issues on the Steam Deck, as well as various glitches and other problems. However, the developers at Larry Studios wasted no time addressing these issues. Now, I always say that you should not be biased. If the game has bugs and glitches, you should be reporting on them and lowering the score, because it is unacceptable. Even though most AAA games nowadays, except for Nintendo, seem to be coming out buggy and have problems. Through the official Baldur's Gate 3 Twitter account, it has been announced that the sudden crashes faced by PS5 players could be due to a PSN-related issue. The development team behind Baldur's Gate 3 is fully aware of the situation and has promptly launched an investigation into the matter. While they work to identify the root cause of these PS5 crashes, they provided players with a temporary workaround to keep the game running smoothly. The recommended solution given by developers is to disconnect the PS5 from the internet. This step may seem unconventional, but it appears to mitigate the crashing issue, allowing players to continue their adventures in the world of Baldur's Gate 3 uninterrupted. As the development team works to resolve the PS5 crashing problems, players can rest assured that their feedback is important to ensuring that Baldur's Gate 3 delivers the exceptional gaming experience they anticipated, as the studio has demonstrated previously by addressing many other issues with each new patch, which, again, release a game when it's finished. Stop releasing broken games. Simple as that. In the meantime, disconnecting from the internet may be the key to avoiding these frustrating crashes and enjoying the adventures that await the game. That is true that while doing this, players will have to forego the possibility of playing online, which is typically crucial in a CRPG that emulates a D&D experience. However, this doesn't eliminate the option of enjoying a local cooperative mode, which I really don't know many people who still do local co-op. I think it's essentially a dinosaur at this point. Without even on split screen co-op for this game on PS5, it's absolute dog shit and has so many frame rate drop problems. Despite the initial technical challenges and those that have arisen subsequently, such as this one on PS5, the game's captivating storytelling and immersive world make it worthwhile for players to continue playing Baldur's Gate 3 in local co-op as a lone adventurer. No. It's basically saying that even with all the problems, you should continue to play this game, which I think is a terrible message to send to people. If the game is not working properly, why are you going to struggle through it? I think that's dumb. Very disingenuous that these people would say this crap. But now just a quick update. Apparently Spawn is coming to Call of Duty in Season 6 on September 27th, apparently, which I don't see why. I mean, I love Spawn as a character. He's definitely one of my favorite comic book characters ever because of the Spawn, the animated series, but let's be real, I think this is silly. I think this is way cooler than the last season of characters that they brought out with all the rappers and stuff, but still, like, I think this is silly. Got Bethesda celebrating more than 10 million explorers, creating the biggest launch in Bethesda history. As much as the Soiny ponies like to say that this game isn't doing well, Bethesda goes to show that clearly it's doing well. Like, it seems to be doing well. So, and of course, our last part was going to be September's next wave of Xbox Game Pass titles, which include Party Animals and Gotham Knights, as well as Payday 3, which I believe comes out tomorrow. And just recently, yesterday, Lies of P came out on Game Pass, which I highly recommend if you love Souls games. The latest batch of Xbox Game Pass titles are on the way, which just comes from XboxAchievements.com. The Lies of P hitting the service today, which was yesterday, because this article was put out yesterday. And Last Animal Standing multiplayer brawl Party Animals due to launch tomorrow, which is today. Payday 3 will then offer another dose of first-person co-op heist action on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Before next week, Limbo and Inside lead gameplay designer Jeppe Carlson introduces Cocoon, a cosmic adventure that unfolds across worlds within worlds. September's second wave of Game Pass titles then leak into October with co-op crime fighting in Gotham Knights, from October 3rd, alongside turn-based strategy adventure the Lamp Lighters League. You can check out the full lineup below. As covered yesterday, 6 games are also set to leave Game Pass, and on top of all that, there are new Xbox Game Pass Ultimate perks to claim. So, of course, Lies of P, which was yesterday. It says today, but it's actually yesterday because this article was posted yesterday. Party Animals, which came out today. You got Payday 3 coming out tomorrow. Cocoon on September 29th. Gotham Knights coming out October 3rd, as well as the Lamp Lighters League coming out October 3rd, which the Tokyo Game Show currently going on. I feel like there's going to be more Game Pass shadow drops, so we'll have to see. Leaving September 30th, you got Beacon Pines, Despot's Game, Last Call BBS, Moonscars. I think Moonscars is pretty decent. Proteus is a fantastic game. I highly recommend it if you love like old style Doom, and I think it's way better than even old school Doom. Outriders, which everyone forgot about, and Weird West I never played. You got your extra new perks, and you got your slide right here with your game. So overall, at least with this list, I highly recommend Payday 3. I think Payday 3 plays very well. Lies of P is a great addition to the Souls types of games. It's not made by From Software, but I do believe this game to be pretty dang good. Based on the couple hours I've played, I recommend it already. And Gotham Knights, I can't recommend that game because I never played it myself, but I will be checking it out since it'll be on Game Pass and I don't have to pay extra for that. I just do recommend Proteus if you haven't tried that game out on cloud console or PC. I highly recommend that game out of all of these games here. I recommend Proteus. I think Proteus is a fantastic game. And same thing with Lies of P and Payday 3. But that'll be all for my video on multiple segments involving any video game news. Oh yeah, and there's also the Like a Dragon Direct that was put up yesterday, which is like 36 minutes long. I'm not gonna go into that completely. I would love to go over it on a live stream, but because I love the Like a Dragon series, I love the Yakuza series. It's one of my favorite series of all time. But I wasn't gonna exactly go deep dive into it in this video. Maybe a different video this week. Maybe I'll get into it. But thank you all for checking out the video. I really appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this type of content, please do hit the like button. I'm trying to do more content like this because it seems like viewers of mine enjoy content like this, having multiple segments involving video game news. Comment below what you feel about all this news. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.